each morning for a newborn day, where we may work the fields of new mown hay. We thank thee for the sunshine and the air that we breathe, O Lord. We thank thee. Thank thee for the rivers that run all day. Thank thee for the little birds that sing along the way. Thank thee for the trees and the deep blue sea, O Lord, we thank thee.
What is that one thing that scares you? That one thing that keeps you awake at night? What if it is life testing you to see if you are fit to possess that which your heart is after? Fear has its own place in life, in humans and in all animals. The purpose of fear is to promote survival. But since we are no longer being chased by saber-toothed tigers and behemoths, why do we still allow fear to immobilize us? Former First Lady of the United States, Eleanor Roosevelt, said, "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face." You are able to say to yourself, "I have lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along." You must do the thing you think you cannot do. That is how you should approach this life. Do the thing you think you cannot do. But the truth is this, is that if you need courage, if you are to make anything out of this life, then you need it. You need courage if you are to achieve anything worthwhile. Hear what American industrialist, business magnate, and founder of Ford Motors, Henry Ford, once said. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his highest and one of his greatest surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. Think about that. It will come as a great surprise to you when you realize that that which you thought you couldn't do, you could have done all along. So why don't you give it a try? Today, this week, this month, or this year, face that fear. Today, this week, this month, this year, face that fear. You will find that you had nothing to fear in the first place. It is fear that has been holding you back from achieving that goal. So face your fears. Look fear in the face. Have courage to pursue. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So said Walt Disney. I believe, coming from the founder of Disney, we have to give this statement a second thought. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. The popularity of Mickey Mouse alone is enough to prove that Walt Disney knew what he was talking about. And that's a way of welcoming you to this morning's show. Coming up is Abdullah Saka with the 6 a.m. news.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to Zed News in the Morning here on Zed 101.9 FM. Coming up, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia calls for balance between consumer protection and innovation in the fintech space. The Islamic Education Unit at GES says inclusion of Arabic in BCE creates a clear path for Ghanaians to pursue higher education in the language, and Director General of National Development Planning Commission called for increased funding for water, sanitation and hygiene. I am Saka Abdullahi. Let's begin. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has called for measures that will ensure protection of consumers in the financial technology industry. Speaking at the ongoing 3i Africa Summit in Accra, Dr. Bawumia said by implementing strategies such as the sandbox and consumer education, regulators can strike the right balance between protecting consumers and fostering innovation in the fintech industry.
Alongside the opportunities lie challenges, particularly in the regulatory arena. As new technologies emerge and financial services evolve, regulators are grappling with the task of crafting regulations that present a balance between spurring innovation and ensuring consumer protection. It is given that regulatory authority can hinder growth, deterring startups and investors wary of navigating uncertain legal landscapes. Startups and investors alike are often hesitant to commit resources to ventures in markets where the regulatory environment is uncertain, fearing potential legal repercussions or regulatory hurdles down the line. Despite these challenges, some African countries are taking proactive steps to foster fintech innovation while ensuring regulatory compliance. Ghana and Rwanda, for instance, have emerged as front-runners in creating conducive environments for fintech startups through the introduction of regulatory sandboxes.
The Vice President stressed the important role of sandboxes in incubating startups and growing them into fintech giants. The General Manager of the Islamic Education Unit and of the Ghana Education Service, Abdul Karim Bapuni, says the historic introduction of Arabic in the BCE creates a clear path for the study of the language to higher levels in the Ghanaian educational system. He says acquiring certified qualification in Arabic opens the door to opportunities for candidates who choose the path of education. His comments come on the back of official announcements by the government that final year junior high school students who study Arabic will be examined in the subject in this year's BEC.
It's been good since time immemorial because it has been overdue. Expecting this quite a long time, and this is the time it's been brought to the light. Nonetheless, we are so happy because during the course of teaching and learning, it will help our children in the Islamic schools to understand better the Holy Quran, the teachings of the Holy Quran and Islamic studies. Why we so keen for it to be examinable is that it is not only beneficial to Muslim students, but it's beneficial to the entire country when it comes to job appointments for job. You realize that Arabic is an outstanding language, an international one, of course. And whoever goes to study Arabic does that at his or her advantage, in the sense that you realize that all over the globe we have embassies, we have the Arab embassies, and they need people to do some translations there. So if we are able to train our children, examine them to these particular subjects, when they become specialized in it, along all parts of the globe, when they have found themselves there, they can have appointment opportunities.
Abdul Karim Bapuni is the General Manager of the Islamic Education Unit under the Ghana Education Service. Now, the Director General of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Kojo Mensah Abrampa is calling for increased funding for water, sanitation and hygiene to improve the quality of lives. The Ghana Wash Development Program seeks to achieve universal basic services by 2030 for everyone living and working in Ghana. Speaking at the edition of the Executive Breakfast Conversation organized by World Vision, Dr. Abrampa lamented the paltry allocation made to the crucial sector.
Where do we put our finances? You'll be surprised that in spite of all this effort, we look at the data and find out that just around 1% of our national cake is going into water, sanitation, and hygiene. I was surprised. But something that we have established as fundamental for our development. So we need to look at where we put our resource, our financing. Very, very important. We also need to look at how we implement our implementation process. Because in the sector, there's a key thing, sequencing. Sequencing. You can never think about collecting the waste and not thinking of how you can dispose of.
You just heard the Director General of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Kojo Mensah Abrampa. Municipal Engineer at the Wejagbari Municipal Area, Dr. Daniel Soa, says the completion of drainage systems and other engineering solutions on the Accra-Kaswa Highway will solve the flooding and traffic congestion motorists face after heavy rains. Hundreds of motorists plying the Accra-Kaswa Highway were stuck in long hours of traffic after Monday evening's downpour. Dr. Soa tells Z News that ongoing construction of storm drains will end flooding and the unbearable traffic on the highway.
I believe that, SCC junction there and the Atala enclave, as well as the Osiadan area there, is a problem area where we are on need currently working to resolve and to solve the problems. If you look at SCC junction right now, where I'm standing with the inspection, with the people for the Ministry of Roads and Highways and the Logical Service Department, we are here doing inspection on the ongoing project that is going on to build a storm drain to collect the runoff that comes. And I believe that some of these things are being done to control some of the problems and the issues that they are going through. I believe that in as much as we pray that this thing shouldn't happen again, I want to urge them to hold their belt a little so that at least we can solve this problem once and for all. Others may say it has been there long. Yes, it is true. But now is the time for us to solve it, and we are going to solve it.
That was Dr. Daniel Soa, who is the Municipal Engineer of Wejagbari Municipal Assembly. The Food and Beverages Association of Ghana is the latest industry to complain about the devastating impact of the depreciation of the cedi on its business activities. Earlier, the Ghana Union Traders Association, GUTA, also expressed similar frustration over the current state of the local currency. In a statement, the executive chairman of the association, John Awuni, said some of the businesses in the industry have closed down shops due to the high cost of doing business now. He described the situation as a crisis. And in a related development, lecturer at the Department of Finance at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Amwa, says the constant depreciation of the cedi stems from weaknesses in the economy's fundamentals. According to him, factors including inflation, unemployment, and interest rates have risen, and the government's inability to control them has resulted in the free fall of the cedi. Still on food, the management of the Kumasi Abattoir Company has raised concerns over what they say is the high influx of foreign meat into the Ghanaian market. They say the situation is negatively impacting the local meat industry. Now, speaking to Z News, production manager at the company, Michael Tongban, urged government to provide the needed support to local livestock farmers to increase production and reduce the importation of foreign meat.
The problem is that the government actually, for now, we don't have any national range that the government itself is into rearing of cattle for the supply of the country. And individuals are into it, but it is not much. And even I have realized that even we, the citizens, we don't make rearing attractive. You see someone having a small ranch somewhere, you see citizens harassing him, and your animals are eating around, the place is smelling, your animals are destroying my crops, your animals is doing this. So raising animals in Ghana is actually, so far as I have the experience, is not attractive to the farmers. And again, the farmers need to be substituted to be able to be subsidized. They have to subsidize them so that they can be able to do more.
That was Michael Tongban, who is the production manager at the Kumasi Abattoir Company Limited. Now, on the international front, Kenya Red Cross says personnel are responding to a landslide that left several people unaccounted for in a region in the central part of the country where there has been heavy rain. The landslide occurred in Kemendi Escarpment, the Red Cross said in a post on social media platform X on Tuesday. So far, there were no deaths confirmed, it said, and the area has been cordoned off and declared a danger zone. Heavy rains and floods in the East African country have been since late March and have killed at least 289 people and displaced 285,600 people, latest government statistics show. And in a worst single incident, at least 61 people were killed in late April following a mudslide and flash floods in the town of Mai Mahiu in central part of Kenya. That is it for the morning news here on Zed 101.9 FM. Before we go, a recap of the major stories. Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia calls for balance between consumer protection and innovation in the fintech space. Islamic Education Unit at the GES says inclusion of Arabic in BEC creates a clear path for Ghanaians to pursue higher education in the language. And Director General of National Development Planning Commission calls for increased funding for water, sanitation, and hygiene. I am Saka Abdullahi. Jerry Ham continues with Zed in the Morning.
In the heart of Accra, nestled in the vibrant neighborhood of East Legon and New Beacon, a 360 multimedia firm has emerged. Introducing Zed Multimedia. With a steadfast focus on lifestyle, leisure, and business, we set out to bring high-value oriented programs that captivate the taste and desires of our audience. From the captivating airwaves of Zed 101.9 FM to the dynamic visuals of Zed TV and the innovative realms of Zed Digital and the incubation of advanced technological knowledge at Zed Tech, every facet of modern media is meticulously curated to engage and inspire. Also, let's not forget the New Finder newspaper, now under the Zed Multimedia umbrella, delivering insightful journalism with a business focus. Join us on the journey where innovation meets inspiration, where lifestyle meets leisure, and where business thrives. Change is here. Zed Multimedia, your lifestyle, leisure, and business platform.
Their Creator bless and worship Him in humbleness. Oh, praise Him. Hallelujah. Praise the Father. Praise the Son. And praise the Spirit. 3 in 1. Oh, praise Him. Oh, praise Him. Hallelujah. 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 To our Creator, who in His manifold love gave us life to see this day, we are most grateful. To our Father, who in His bountiful mercies has not dealt with us according to our deeds, we are thankful. Good morning, all lovely people out there. I said a good morning, all you lovely people. Welcome to my show. Welcome to your show. Welcome to our show. A morning experience like none other. Still interested in the matters affecting you, dear listener? Still determined to go behind the scenes, behind the issues, the major news and headlines happening right now, right here in this beautiful country we call home. Now more than ever interested in ensuring that we provide you the best of education on very important issues. Issues that are of immense importance to you, dear listener. But I must add, we are still heavily biased towards business, with touches and tinges of lifestyle and leisure. We're still strong in our conviction that we serve the best breakfast in town. The best breakfast this side of the equator, without the noise, without the rancor, with as much civility as possible. This is the House of Zion. This is number 6 Anyete Street, right at the heart of East Legon. This is Z101.9 FM, your lifestyle, your leisure, and your business radio. Z101.9 FM. This is Zed in the Morning. Yeah, I am Jerry Home. In the first hour of the show, news reviews, headline news. We'll go into the major newspapers and pick the headlines. We'll review a couple of them all through to 6:50. At 6:50, Nyakwe, the sportscaster, comes through with Z Sports. What happened yesterday in the EPL, in La Liga? Nyakwe comes your way with all that and more. Taking us to 7. At 7 is Z Business News. That will wrap up the first hour of the show. In the second hour, you know the way we do it is going to be top story, the top trending story of the day. We'll be picking it from angles that others might have missed. Talking to some who understand the issues. That will bring us to 7:55, where we bring you business briefs. It's your mini MBA in the morning. That would usher us into the third hour of the show. Z Talk. Today we're talking pensions. We understand the pension system in this country, the scheme, and what it all means. 8 to 9, that will be the Z Talk segment, and we're talking pensions. 8:55, customer service and experience moments. Taking us into the last hour of the show. Today is a Wednesday. What are Wednesdays on this show? Wednesdays are Science and Tech Wednesdays. And then we'll be wrapping up around 9:55. It's 4 hours of exciting news, 4 hours of education, and 4 hours of infotainment. This is Zed in the Morning. Let's get the show started.
Lurcher and Business Radio. It's your lifestyle, lurcher, and business radio.
What a privilege to be called a friend of God. Israel Houghton, a friend of God. That's a Wednesday morning. It's midweek, just like that. The week just started yesterday, and it's midweek. Anyway, we're back, and by the grace, by the grace of He who we can call a friend, we're back to do His will. Good morning, lovely people. Once again, it's Zed in the morning. Yeah, the news headlines and reviews, and I'm here with Abdullah Saka to help me go through the major newspapers today. What's up?
Yeah, Jerry, good morning.
Charlie, morning, man. How was your night?
Can't complain.
Yeah, God is good. Which paper do you have with you?
Are we going to start? Let's start with the New Finder.
Our very own New Finder. Okay, what are the front pages of the New Finder saying?
All right, so the New Finder says, Foucault's critics wrong. Banking consultant Sigabor say calls for his removal lacks merit. And that story is on page 9 of the New Finder. And it also says, the front page says, Ghana receives ICAO Train Air Plus Silver Membership Award. And it shows a picture of a representative receiving that award on our behalf. And taxing churches, FBOs will be counterproductive, according to Dr. Baumia. And that story can also be found on page 9 of the New Finder newspaper. And it also features a story here, Dr. Addison saying African fintech struggling for investment. And that story can also be found on page 8 of the New Finder newspaper.
Okay, and I have the graphic business, the big story. Banks' solvency under threat, high NPLs to blame, and he has a picture of banking consultant Dr. Richmond Ituahine here, and then ECD finding balance between financial stability, regulation, consumer freedom, and privacy rights. And MTN Ghana continuous growth trajectory, put strong financial results in Q1. That's the front page of the graphic business.
Daily Guide says our road project unmatched, and it attributes that statement to the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It also says KGL boss Lords Otumfuo, that is Alex Apau, Lord in Otumfuo. That story can be found on page 6 of the Daily Guide. It also says AG debunks opening Supreme Court claims on page 3 of the Daily Guide.
Okay, and I have here the Chronicle. GII leads discussion on formulation of guidelines for public lands. And there's a big story here. I repeat, I won't tax the church because they play a critical role in our national development. That's from Baumia. Chamber of Local Governance threatens to halt approval of Tema West MCE. And there's a picture of Romeo Elikplim Akahoho, who is the Chamber of Local Governance Executive Secretary. Then the last story on the front page of the Chronicle. Adamo Resources has not been barred from exporting gold, says the management.
The front page of the New Crusading Guide calls for NIB's MD's head baseless, according to banking consultant. And it also features a picture of Haruna Idris, and it says, I have never brokered any deals to benefit GIC size. Haruna Idrusu denies claims of $2.5 million bribery claim. It also features the AG story saying AG debunks openly claims about Supreme Court, and Akufo-Addo encourages new voters. That is the front page of the New Crusading Guide.
Also on the front page of the Daily Statesman, the big story is digital identity MMI crucial. VIP rallies African leaders for financial inclusion. EC registers over 250,000 new voters in 6 days. Third African Media Convention kickstarts today. And ICAO confers Trainer Plus Silver Award on Ghana. And Baumia, no tax on churches.
The Custodian front page, the big one is Baumia pledges golden age of partnership with churches and FBOs. It also says, my hands are clean. Harun Idrusu denies bribery claims. And the EC chair is featured on the front page of the Custodian as well. It says, we are fair to all regions, EC declares. That is the front page of the Custodian.
Okay, and on the front page of the Daily Dispatch, enhancing national development, I will deepen partnership between the state and the church, said Baumia. And I have an alternative vision for an affordable Ghana, Sam Ankara. You are bold. Ghana need leaders like you. Omahini of Sifiwi also to Dr. Opoku Prempe. And I trust you can rise to the occasion and make Ghana greater. Nayiri to Baumia.
Now, the obvious headline on the Informer newspaper says, approval of new dialysis fees. Parliament insensitive. Ghanaians yell. Applaud Fair Sky Group. It also has taxing churches wrong. Baumia declares, clarifies statement. And the Informer says on the front page, security dons trade blows over Yoko boss.
Okay, and the Ghanaian publisher, Dr. Chiahini Siga, back new NIBMD. It's Ghana's time to have female VIP, says Reverend Dr. Markwe. ECOWAS Bank to inject $200 million into Ghanaian economy. ICAO honors Ghana with Train Air Plus Silver Award. And APD 2025, that's African Prosperity Dialogue 2025, to focus on bridging Africa's infrastructural gap. That's the front page of the Ghanaian publisher.
Business and Financial Times, BNFT, front page says, success of continent's digital economy hinges on collaborative efforts, MTN CEO. It also says, invest in digital infrastructure. Akufo-Addo urges Africa's government. And there is another story here which says, focus on staff welfare to boost revenue. Amin Adam to GRA.
Okay, and the big one, the Daily Graphic, the front page, the book publishers fume over NACCA's assessment role. Government moves to build temporary drainage on Kaswa Road. Stakeholders demand public scrutiny of state lands policy. Size fintech opportunities. This is fintech opportunities, digitalization, mobile money interoperability are launch pads. Dr. Baumia rallies African nations. That's the front page of the Daily Graphic.
Now, the Daily Post has a striking headline. It says, I am a joker, Baumia confesses. And it also features man whose stomach tumor surgery Ibrahim Mahama sponsored has recovered and fully returned to normal life. That is what the Daily Post front page is saying this morning. And we have the Ghanaian Times. Times says, Kaneshi Kaswa gridlock. Commuters abandon Trotro to go home on foot. And it also says SMEs to receive $200 million through historic partnership with EBID. And there's another story on the Ghanaian Times front page. It says, increase investment in digital tech to boost development. VIP to African governments.
Okay, and let me pick some online stories. Mindyouronline.com. The big story here is, we're not against gold for oil policy, but it's skewed implementation. That's from the Seaboard CEO. And then from citynewsroom.com, Malam Kaswa flood delays in securing funds contributed to Monday's gridlock. That's from Asenso Boachi. And then also our very own zmultimedia.com, Mother's Day stories, CNN MOE 6 industry innovation partnerships, EC registration is also one of the stories here. Let's go to the Northern Reports.com. It says DBG, that's the Development Bank Ghana, Proxtera partner to provide 100 million in loans digitally to Ghanaian SMEs. 100 million in loans digitally. Let's pick an international online platform, the BBC.com, and the homepage is manhunt for escaped French prisoner enters second day. It's talking about hundreds of police officers that have been deployed in search of Mohamed Amra and the men who freed him, who is escaped French prisoner. So Mohamed Amra's profile is here as well. Biden administration plans $1 billion arms shipment to Israel. And then the last one I'll pick from the BBC homepages: Trump's lawyer attacks Cohen in hush money trial. So yes, those are the major news headlines that came through today. Abdullah Saka, let's start with your area. I think that should be the biggest story, should be of concern to you. The drainage issues on your road.
Jerry,
I saw some videos. Bro. If you're on that stretch, if you are beyond men's chrome, I mean, in fact, beyond McCarthy Hill, Charlie. Hey,
Jerry, this is not a laughing matter. This is not a joke. This is not a joke.
The videos I saw, scary.
I was lucky. See, I was so lucky that I left the office quite early on Monday. So I got to ShopRite's bus stop, what we usually call. It's just the bus stop opposite the West Hills Mall.
Exactly, yeah.
I got there and the rain started heavily. So I was stuck under a tent for close to 40 minutes. Now, just right in front of me, the bus stop, where the bus stop is, I don't know where the water was coming from.
The hillside on both sides.
So it was just flowing, just through the bus stop. So my and all this while I was so tired. I wanted to get home and get some rest. Now I was thinking, if the rain comes down a bit, now how am I going to cross this bus stop? Because it looked very deep. So eventually I had to take off my shoes and use some Takashi movements to get through and get home. And the streets right behind the West Hills Mall, the water was so deep that it got to my shin. Shin area.
But have you seen the videos of the mall?
My upper shin area.
The mall was flooded.
It was bad. Yeah. Now, and the SCC, that's the biggest issue. And I think that is a major if not the major contributor to the SCC area between the old Melcom and where Chicken Man, Pizza Man is now down to the old barrier area. Now, I've seen that they are constructing some storm drains. But Jerry, I have a big issue with the storm drains. And I had a conversation on Z News with the municipal engineer of Wejagbawe. And I posed this question to him. These storm drains, I mean, I live there. This is a road I use every day. In fact, I use it every day. Now, I saw that they started constructing these storm drains somewhere last year. But work paused for a long while. All of a sudden, it's rainy season and they have begun work. So even before this whole flooding situation, I was asking myself, why would you wait? We had an entire dry period where it was not raining.
My brother.
What are we doing to ourselves in this country? We know that this is a major road. We know the implications of flooding. Or we know what happens when this road is flooded. So why would we not release funds? Why would we not release for such an important project?
The key word, according to the Roads and Highway Minister, the key word is securing funds. The Roads Minister highlighted the bureaucratic hurdles involved in securing funds for completing storm drains along the stretch, identifying it as a significant obstacle facing the government.
Why does it have to be so, Jerry?
Charlie,
this is an issue of importance. See, this
Accra is expanding. And as it breaks its boundaries, it will go north, south, east, west. In fact, south out, because south then it means it's going into the Gulf of Guinea. So, I mean, east, west, north. If Accra west, Accra east, I mean, and then the Accra northern part, it must be such that as the city grows, there won't be any. But trust me, if what we're seeing in Accra west is anything to go by, bro, Charlie, because already without the water,
it's an issue.
People staying beyond Kaswa, people staying at Budumbram, coming to town, are already having to leave home at 4. And our colleagues here who are leaving the office at 5 and getting home at 11 or beyond 11 at 2 a.m. I mean, it means that we're cutting off that side.
That side.
And it cannot be. It cannot be. And don't forget that this stretch we are struggling in quotes to secure funds for is part of the Trans-West African Highway.
True.
So imagine somebody was coming from Nigeria going to Cote d'Ivoire.
Exactly.
Ghana is going to keep him there. Why? Because there's this
for 9
stretch.
hours, for 10 hours.
Yeah, it's so important.
It is crucial.
It is
so I don't know why for such an important project that is going to alleviate the flooding situation, we are saying we had difficulties in securing funds.
Yeah, I mean,
are we a serious country, Jerry? No, are we a serious country?
If he has difficulty, he shouldn't tell you. He's telling you.
No, I mean, and yesterday I saw the minister move his vehicle there to go and do inspection. So, Jerry, is he saying that all this while he hasn't seen that they are constructing the project, and what is the point?
You didn't want to see him there yesterday.
No, what is the point of him going to inspect the drains, Jerry? No, we need to ask our leaders these crucial questions. Why do you move your entire convoy to go inspect drains?
People would have wished that this had been resolved many years ago, but as you know, we need funds to do this storm drain, and this is not the only storm drain challenge that we have in the city, in the region, or in the country. But unfortunately, we didn't have the funds to do it. We had to go through a series of processes to get funds to do it, and that is why it was delayed. So
you know the funny thing about this delay. So I passed there one day and I see that they've started, they are dredging and all of that. 2 days later, it rained. Now, for them to be able to continue what they were doing and lay the concrete, they had to drain the water out.
Yeah.
They had to use this pumping machine to extract the water so that they would have the dry. And I was like, why are you doing this to yourselves? If you had done this in the dry period, I mean, you wouldn't be going through this stress.
I mean,
it's a serious issue. And you see,
the money was not available.
The moment that place is flooded, let me tell you how it contributes to the entire traffic situation. The moment the Old Melcombe area to the SCC barrier area is flooded, drivers, when they get to SCC junction, need to divert and use the traffic,
so
the lanes coming from Accra.
Yeah.
So now, from Accra to the lanes coming from Accra to Kaswa, now becomes one.
It's true.
And then from Kaswa to Accra now becomes one.
Yeah.
And you know the number of people on that stretch.
So then
there's a ripple effect. It affects Tetegu, it affects Malam, and then Kaneshi. On and on, Kaneshi. And then, you see, so the whole city is in gridlock. Jerry, we need to be serious as a country. And I don't know, yesterday, I don't know what he was doing with his V8 there. I don't know what impact his inspection was going. So he didn't have a report of what's going on there, that they have not finished the work, and that go Jerry.
The drain which is under construction is only about 30% complete at the moment. And so you people should pray for less rains, or you should begin sleeping in your offices. I mean, if it's possible. I'm not talking to you. I'm just saying. Government moves to build temporary drainage on Kaswa Road, but it is so important that I think it's something that we have to take a second look at.
Major issue.
Yeah.
And there is the issue of on the front page of the New Finder, for Coach critics wrong, banking consultant Sigabos says his calls for his removal lacks merit. And that is on page 9 of the New Finder. And you know, this appointment has come with a lot of controversy, where the minority is saying that he is running for parliamentary candidate. He's a parliamentary candidate running for election. So he's going to be distracted from his work and all of that. Now, Dr. Tuahene has rejected the argument, and he emphasizes that Foucault's approval by the Bank of Ghana indicates that he met all the necessary criteria set by the regulator for the position. And he pointed out that the corporate governance and fit and proper directives is issued by BOG in 2019 outlines specific conditions that must be met to be appointed as MD or CEO of a bank. So basically, the argument is that if on paper he meets all the criteria, there is no reason why he shouldn't be MD.
You see, Saka, maybe I should stay away from this because of where I'm coming from. But let's face this. There is the law and there is the moral argument.
True.
There is a law.
True.
No law is being broken here.
No law.
So none at all. So no one should go around and say this and that. So we leave that one. The law side is sorted. there are legal precedents to show that this thing is not, the end of the world like that. No one is breaking any law.
Yeah.
However, the other arguments have been, listen, if he's going on his campaign trail, whose resources is he going to deploy?
So you see, there's the counter that there's delegation, and then there's, you see, there's a very dicey situation.
As a PC, he must be at Mansu Kwanta to campaign. True. Are we arguing against
yes,
that?
true.
No, so he must be there in person.
Yes, he must.
Let's say he devotes his weekends to the place, right? Now, on going there, we're saying he's going to use whose resources. Now, put that one aside. Let's say he's paid well enough as a bank's MD. He's been a DMD for a while. So yes, I mean, there is nothing wrong. He should have his own resources to be able to campaign. Or the party could even help him to win the seat.
Yeah.
But now, Saka, let me pose this to you. The managing director of National Investment Bank is an MPP parliamentary candidate. A customer comes over who is a known NDC contractor. He puts his documents before credit committee or whatever. The documents eventually gets to MD.
Yeah.
Saka. The MPP MD would release a loan for the NDC contractor to go and make money to help his NDC colleagues.
Jerry, you see, if we are doing that, we are not being fair to Dr. Fogo.
I'm just throwing questions out there.
No, we are not being fair.
I'm just throwing questions
because
out there.
we need to trust that he has the integrity. And you said that he's been DMD for a while. This is someone who has proven that he can perform on the job. So it is not. We have no basis to doubt his integrity or doubt his ability to do the job. However, of course, there is the argument that he may not be focused on the job and all of that.
Not that. Saka, he's correct. He has integrity. I have no doubt. I'm not even referring to him in that side of the argument. I'm referring to the man whose documents are not correct. Right? The NIB customer whose documents are not correct. Who his document goes through credit, they realize that he doesn't qualify for the loan. So he's denied the loan. Saka, he walks out of the place. What is he going to say?
Of course.
You get where I'm coming from?
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
I get that.
But I mean,
I know how partisan we are.
You and I don't know Mr. Foucault face to face. We don't know him. I mean, so we have no rights to sit here to doubt his integrity. I have no doubt that he's a fine gentleman. I mean, BOG says so. I mean, BOG is the However, I'm talking of the perception.
The perception, which is also very important in banking.
The loan I was going to get to, but this MPP man says that's how they are. When we come to power, we'll show them. Boy, we could have avoided all this.
It's an issue. But
so you get where I'm coming from.
If the BOG says he's all right.
No, he's all right. He's all right. If BOG says he's all right, we trust the BOG. Who are we to doubt that? I mean, so sometimes perception is everything. Is everything. Unfortunately, we have time to just take these two stories. But your story was important. So we have to take it.
Yes.
Because we don't want you sliding in the water. And,
I think I need to learn how to swim because on that road,
if you're going to continue staying along the Kaswa stretch, you need swimming trunks. It's 6:49. Coming up at 6:50. What is happening at 6:50? The Aquated Sportscaster is here with Zed Sports.
Zed 101.9 FM.
Here's Mensah, this is positive. Williams, Kudos! The Korean joy did not last for long. Martinez, Messi!
Oh my gosh, Kudos, Mapavana from Guyana.
All right, so it's 6:50 and we are right on time for Zed Sports. Niakwe, the Sportscaster is the name. And coming up in this edition of Zed Sports, Lai Kingston announces the Black Starlets final squad for the Wafu B Under 17 Cup of Nations. And Manchester City surge above Arsenal as Haaland seals huge win over Spurs. And Tyson Fury knows the Alexander Usyk showdown could take years off his life. Alright, so we're right on time. ZFMGH on all platforms is the place to be, and it's Z Sports. We start off from the local front. Black Starlets coach Lai Kingston has named his squad for the WAFU Zone B Under 17 Cup of Nations. Ghana will go into the tournament looking to qualify for her first Under 17 Cup of Nations in 7 years, having missed out on the tournament since 2017. The Black Starlets have been camping at the Ghanaman Center of Excellence at Pram Pram in readiness for the tournament that kicks off today. Ghana will face Cote d'Ivoire in the opening Group A game later today before taking on Benin in the other group game next week, Tuesday. And so the squad is as follows. Michael Ama, obviously in the squad. Bilal Ajayi, Isdin Mohammed, Havik Bafa, Isa Abdul Rafiu, Hamza Idrisu, Benjamin Chivanyo, and Abdullah Norte also making the lineup. Godfred Sapong is in there. Theophilus Ayamga, Joseph Nabi, Ernesto Fori, Ebenezer Adolf Ago, Benjamin Hansen, Samuel Kusi, Joshua Tetetuo, and Abdul Baki Haruna, Mark Kagawa Mensa, Prince Charles Amwa, and finally Ebenezer Adani to complete the lineup for the Under 17 squad. And still on the Black Starlets, coach Lai Kingston, he has set his sights on qualifying for the CAF Under 17 Cup of Nations, obviously to qualify for the AFCON, and the Starlets need to excel at the West African Football Union Zone B tournament. Moving on to our next story, suspended Ash Gold could make a return to Ghana football, according to a statement from the club. The club announced they have been in constant engagement with the Ghana Football Association to salvage their football status. Ash Gold Club was suspended by the Executive Council of the GFA and obviously unanimously under the Article 17(1) of the Ghana Statutes. The decision was taken based on the club's continuous dealing with banned officials Kweku Frimpong and Emmanuel Frimpong, which constituted a serious violation of both the GFA and FIFA statutes. And now we move to the international front. Pep Guardiola says the final game of the season will be the most difficult one after Manchester City moved within one win of a historic fourth successive Premier League title with victory at Spurs. Erling Haaland's second half double settled a tight encounter in which Spurs' hopes of a top four finish ended and sent Aston Villa into the Champions League for the first time next season. For those of you who saw the game, Erling Haaland bashing that penalty late on in the 90th minute to seal the deal for Manchester City. It's a very interesting one because going into the final day, Arsenal have it all to do. Mohamed Kudus could play a pivotal role in where the title goes, and this promises to be very, very interesting. Pep Guardiola spoke to the press after the game.
Yeah, I've done since I arrived. When I just arrived, we saw how standard level of the keeper it is, so we know that. He making incredible saves, but many times. So, and yeah, in the moment we were 1 or 2 actions because they are so fast with Kulusevski, with Madison, with Johnson, with Son. So they are top fantastic play. The runners with Porro, with Sarr, and have a lot of weapons, speed behind for the defenders. So it's an exceptional team, exceptional. So. And we knew we had to suffer, and we give us a life, few more days for the last game of the season at home. When you play football thinking about the consequences, you're going to lose the Premier League, you cannot perform this level. But he's a human being, so I can understand the pressure is there. Not even Arsenal play exceptional against United, so they know that they don't win that, they are not going to win the Premier League and play with that pressure. It will be the same against West Ham.
All right, so Pep Guardiola talking about suffering for long periods in the game. Finally, it was done and dusted. Crucial 3 points to the title charge, and Ange Postecoglou was left to rule missed chances as Spurs Champions League hopes were ended after last night's 2-0 defeat to Manchester City. They needed 3 points to take the Premier League's top 4 race to the final day, but were undone by Pep Guardiola's side, who moved to within touching distance of another top flight title. Ange Postecoglou spoke to the media.
No, I think the last 48 hours has revealed to me the foundations are fairly fragile, mate, so that's what I feel. I just think that's, like I said, the last 40 hours has revealed a fair bit to me, and that's all right. That just means I've got to go back to the drawing board with something. Outside, inside, everywhere. It's been an interesting exercise. It's just my observations, mate. I'm not going to tell you because it's for me. I'm the one that's got to do it. So, you know, you can make your own fairly accurate assessment of what's happened. And I understand I'll probably misread the situation as to what I think is important in your endeavour to become a winning team, but that's okay. That's why I'm here. It is what it is, mate. I can't dictate what people do. They're allowed to express themselves any way they want. But yeah, when we've got late winners in games, it's because the crowd's helped us.
All right, so the disappointment in Postecoglou's voice evident for all. Spurs are not participating in next season's Champions League. Moving on to our next story, Mauricio Pochettino has stressed Chelsea's returning stars need time to get fully up to speed after confirming another 2 players are back in team training. Levi Colwill, Axel Disasi, Malo Gusto, Christopher Nkunku and Raheem Sterling all returned to the squad for the West Ham win on Saturday, and they were joined on the bench by Reece James and Leslie Ugochukwu at Nottingham Forest. He spoke to the media also.
I think it was very good news last game to have too many players now back on track. And I think Chile is really close, but I think it's not 100% maybe to be part of the squad. Carney Chukwuemeka also. Yes, I think they both, no? Both that we need to assess if they can be or not part of the squad for tomorrow. But if not for tomorrow, maybe for the weekend.
Could anyone else return before the end of the season, do you think?
Sorry?
Could any other players return before the end of the season? No? Anyone else?
No, I think no, because it's only now Romeo, Lavia, Enzo, Fofana, and that's it.
Okay.
No, I think it's a very positive thing, no, to finish the season with only few players, you know, and sorry, Robert Sanchez also. Robert Sanchez is not fit.
All right, so he was Mauricio Pochettino for Chelsea. Moving on to the red side of Manchester, where in sharp contrast to City's fortunes, things are going on a downward spiral for Man United. Erik ten Hag is expecting Lisandro Martinez to be fit for Manchester United's Premier League game against Newcastle United. Martinez has been restricted to just 11 appearances this season because of foot, knee and calf problems. The centre-back has not played since the 1-0 draw with Brentford on March the 30th. But should he be part of the squad to play against Newcastle? I'm sure he should be fit. Ten Hag spoke to the media.
Very good question. Licha Martinez. I think he will return in the squad. He did now some sessions with us, and we plan him to be available when this afternoon everything's going right in the training. He will return in the squad, and then for some other players we have to see Rashford, Bruno, Willy, Kambala, if they are fit enough.
And so we have it from Ten Hag. Looks like the season is over for Manchester United. And our final story takes us into the world of boxing, where Tyson Fury intends to prove himself the best heavyweight on the planet when he fights Alexander Usyk on Saturday. It is the opportunity of a lifetime, and with a fight of this magnitude come vast rewards, wealth from his prize money, whatever happens, and a lasting legacy if he wins. Tyson Fury, here he is.
So going into the fight, we're both complete. Going out of it, one of us are going to be not complete anymore, and that's why the fans are the winners, really. However, if that was a factor to me, worrying about what people thought of me, then I wouldn't even be in this position in the beginning. I'd never be here. Ever. I've never been British champion, never mind multi-time world champion, never in a million years. So the opinions of others mean very little to me. They mean less than little, nothing actually. Because whether you say something good about me in an interview or something negative, the facts of the matter are, like Clark Gable said, quite frankly, I just don't give a damn.
And that was Tyson Fury, obviously optimistic about his bout and what a stellar career he's had so far. On that note, we draw the curtains on Z Sports this morning on Z101.9. My name is Niakwe, the sportscaster. My colleague Gatuso Race to the Power 7 will be here at exactly 5:15. The business segment is up next, and continue. If you are out there, continue to keep faith and hope alive. Always remember the golden message: do not count the days, whatever happens. Make the days count.
So this is positive. Williams, Kudos, the Korean joy did not last for long.
Oh my gosh, Kudos, the Pavana from Guyana.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM. Zed 101.9 FM. You're tuned in to Zed 101.9 FM. Your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Hello, yes, it is time for the business news segment here on Zed in the Morning. Coming up in today's bulletin, businesses, policymakers are charged to give real meaning to financial inclusion. The Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index surges while the Financial Stock Index remains steady. And on the international front, corrupt ship inspectors demand bribe from seafarers. We'll go more into that in this bulletin. I am Saka Abdullahi. Let's begin. Second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Elsie Ado Awazi, has challenged businesses and policymakers in Ghana and in Africa to give real meaning to financial inclusion by incorporating it into their business modules and regulations. That, according to Mrs. Awazi, would ensure that the underserved and unbanked across the continent can have unlimited access to financial services and more. Speaking at the 3i Africa Summit, the second deputy governor noted that it was not satisfactory to acknowledge from time to time the importance of financial inclusion, but it must be backed by a real commitment to see it drive economies.
For us to make a real push on financial inclusion and to ensure that the excluded or the underserved are really mainstreamed into financial services. We need to think about financial inclusion not as a fringe issue, not as a good thing to think about from time to time, that financial services providers or policymakers put, in their material to show that they're thinking of this issue at least. We need to consistently make sure that this is mainstreamed into policy and regulation and in business models of financial services providers and payment services providers as well. And so this becomes then the underlying business model. How can we do business? How can we make policy? How can we make regulation that is thinking of the least and those at the bottom of the pyramid who may be unserved or underserved?
Now, if financial inclusion fails, then financial exclusion wins, and that, according to Mrs. Awaji, would, among other ramifications, even negatively impact the work of the Bank of Ghana and for government's revenue mobilization efforts.
Another thing to keep in mind is that, well, financial exclusion will continue to hinder effective transmission of monetary policy for as long as significant cash remains outside the banking system. So financial inclusion is important. It's important for poverty reduction, for growth, for sustainable growth, but it is also very important for policymakers to think about the effectiveness of their own policies if there is that much exclusion. Exclusion will continue to keep a large portion of businesses in the informal sector and largely outside the tax net, affecting government revenues and the developmental efforts of governments. Exclusion will continue to leave certain economic actors vulnerable to economic shocks like climate change, like disease and others, which would then always make our economies not grow to the potential that they could grow to. Exclusion in the long run does not augur well for long-term viability and resilience of financial institutions. And so when banks and other financial institutions think that they can focus on the bigger businesses at the exclusion of the informal sector or the small and medium-sized enterprises, that just means that the ultimate and long-term sustainability of these financial institutions is threatened, because then you're cutting out a potential client base that could be groomed and could be prepared for the future.
That was the second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Elsie Awaji, speaking at the ongoing 3i Africa Summit, which ends today. Now, onto the markets. The Ghana Stock Exchange witnessed a notable uptick in trading activity yesterday, with the composite index surging by 60.87 points. In contrast, the financial stock index remained steady, showing no significant change in its metrics. The CD experienced a mixed performance against major foreign trading currencies. It fell against both the pound sterling and the euro, while it remained stable against the US dollar. Now, Tessa Capital has more on yesterday's trading on the Ghanaian financial markets.
Welcome to a recap of the markets, brought to you by Tessa Capital Limited. During the second trading session of the week, the Ghanaian stock market sustained its upward momentum in the stock index. The composite index surged by 60.87 points, representing a significant increase of 1.65%, and concluded the day at 3,744.35 points. Meanwhile, the financial stock index remained steady at 2,037.06 points. Market capitalization also saw a rise of 0.78%, closing the day at 83,852 cedis and 32 pesos. MTN Ghana observed a 2.86% increase in its share price, closing the day at 1 cedi 80 pesos per share, while the exchange-traded fund GLD experienced a decline of 1.13%, settling at 332 cedis per share. Market activity, as indicated by traded volume, decreased significantly by 99.94% as compared to the previous session. MTN Ghana continued to dominate the traded volume, accounting for 92.41% of the total. In total, 116,467 shares valued at 500,135 cedis 39 pesos were traded. In the foreign exchange session, the Ghanaian cedi experienced depreciation against the British pound and the euro, while remaining stable against the US dollar. It depreciated by 0.18% against both the euro and the pound. Based on the mid-rates provided by the Bank of Ghana, the cedi concluded trading at 13 cedis 72 pesos against the US dollar, 17 cedis 26 pesos against the British pound, and 14 cedis 84 pesos against the euro. This brings our review to an end, and from all of us at Tessa Capital, make it a great day. Visit us online at www.tessacapital.com or call us on 050-154-6859 for more information. Tessa Capital, grow your wealth.
Tessa Capital is a leading financial institution in Ghana, and we thank them for those market updates. Now, on the international front, seafarers have told the BBC that port officials routinely demand cash, cigarettes, food and drinks as bribe before allowing ships through. So-called gratuities are against international anti-corruption laws. But the Maritime Anti-Corruption Network said it received 5,183 reports in 2023. The International Association of Ports and Harbors is working to tackle it. Now, ex-captain Stephen Gudgeon said he was once held at gunpoint after refusing to hand over cigarettes at a port in Asia. Mr. Gudgeon said he was eventually released with $1,500 fine to pay for paperwork irregularities, which he believed were spurious, and in retaliation for not handing over the cigarettes. The network told BBC that it had received 61,000 reports in more than 1,000 ports across 150 countries since it opened an anonymous helpline in 2011. Cecilia Mueller-Troban, the head of the network, said experiences as intimidating as Mr. Gudgeon's were uncommon, but that the shipping industry was quite exposed to corruption risks and that the number of incidents reported would be the tip of the iceberg. She said this was due to the combination of frequent government interaction, shipping across multiple jurisdictions, and the time element of sailing in and out of port. That is all we have for the business news segment here on Zed in the Morning. But before I go, a recap of the top stories. Businesses and policymakers are charged to give real meaning to financial inclusion. The Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index surges, while the Financial Stock Index remains steady. And on the international front, corrupt ship inspectors demand bribes from seafarers. I am Saka Abdullahi. Jerry Ham continues with the show.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Yeah, we're in the second half of the show. Top story. It's a big deal if the whole world congregates in Accra for a discussion on fintech and innovations and tech. It's day 3 of the 3I Summit, and it's important that we find out, today being the last day, what is the situation like on the ground. During this 3-day summit, we are told that there are going to be opportunities and discussions. That is, all these discussions that will go on about opportunities and challenges, employing digital technology, and if there are 3 heads of state, 10 governors of central banks, and 150 chief executives and senior executives. You should know it's a serious thing. Yesterday we spoke to our man Isaac Edu on the ground. Today we'll do the same, find out from Ike what is happening at the 3I Summit and what the expectations for the last day is. And then also we would also be tackling another big story that is reported on the front pages of a number of the papers. The Daily Statesman has it here. It says ICAO confessed trainer plus silver award on Ghana. The Custodian also has the same story. ICAO honors Ghana. And our very own The New Finder also says Ghana receives ICAO train air Plus Silver Membership Award. What is this? What is ICO? What is this award all about? We'll also be talking to our man in the aviation industry, Mr. Dominic Andor. I'll try and get Dominic to tell us a lot more about what this award is about and what good it's going to do for Ghana. So those will be our two stories for Top Story today. But before we do that, it's important that I remind you that if you haven't made that call, let me run these announcements by you. If you haven't made that call, please try and do it now. The number is 0544 35 1019. 0544 35 1019. And this is because a reputable company is looking for experienced sales and marketing executives like you to employ. So why don't you call? If you're at home, you don't have a job, and you believe you have what it takes to excel in sales, and so please call. It could be a job of a lifetime. It could be that work you've been looking for. It's a Wednesday. You shouldn't be at home with no job to do when you have the experience and expertise and the skill set to excel in selling. So call 0544 35 1019. The world of business is not one to be toyed with. So if you put all your money into business, it is important that the money comes back, which is why it's of great importance that you get your brand before the right people. Get your brand before the right people. That is of greater sense. So how are you going to do that? Get the right organizations, the right media, the right vehicles to send your brand into the right target audience and the right target market. This is why ZFM and the New Find a newspaper have combined to bring to you an exciting proposition, a package that brings you on radio and at the same time also gets you in print. That's a beautiful package if you ask me. So why don't you call the same number, 0544? Yes. Have you taken it? 0544 35 1019. 0544 35 1019. That could be the breakthrough your business has been waiting for. So call right now, and it could be the difference for your business. Let ZFM and the New Find a newspaper be the voice of your business. And then also, are you aware? I mean, have you ever imagined? Just close your eyes. No, if you're driving, don't. But if you're at home, you can. Close your eyes. And imagine a place that is in sync with your lifestyle. A place that will make you feel proud to be a part of. Imagine owning a piece of property that gives you pride. Where you can walk the tree-lined streets with a charming established feel and oversees the landscape view of Ibri Mountains. You know, the weather there won't be as hot as Accra, of course. So it's important that you just take this in. And all these are provided. All that you just imagine can be a reality if you would contact your number one leading private real estate company of the year, Lakeside Estate. They're giving you this golden opportunity to become a homeowner at the Lakeside Hills. That's their latest project, the Lakeside Hills, a place so safe and secure you get a sense of calm and ease, fostering a family-friendly neighborhood. And then, Lakeside Hills offers you a variety of house types: 2 bedrooms detached standard, 2 bedroom detached deluxe, 3 bedrooms detached, 3 bedrooms detached with boys quarters, and 4 bedroom story executive. These are all available for you at Lakeside Hills. To book a viewing and sales assistance, call 0204 775 040 0204 775 040, or you can also call 0501 418 622 0501 418 622 or 020 477 020 477 5010. 42. Alternatively, you can also visit lakesideestate.com or their social media handle, that is at lakeside_estate. For more details, life is beautiful at Lakeside Hills. Lakeside Hills, where you can live your best life. And this is brought to you by Lakeside Estate, your 3 times winner of CIMG Real Estate Company and Grader Overall Real Estate Company of the year 2023. Yes, enjoy the best shows on lifestyle, leisure, and business right here on Z101.9 FM. Yeah, let me run you through what your average day would look like if you did. This is what you're going to do at 5 a.m. At 5 a.m. Hopefully by then you're awake. Set your alarm to 5 a.m. that is. And then tune in to Z101.9 FM because Pastor Joshua NST comes your way with morning blessings every Monday to Friday at 5 a.m. Thereafter, he takes you all through to 5:30. At 5:30, right here on this dial, don't touch the dial. Yes, 5:30, Living Word with Dr. Mensa Otabil comes your way Mondays to Friday, 5:30 a.m. daily, right here on Z101.9 FM. The Living Word brings you all through to 5:55. At 5:55, yours truly, yes, Jerry Harm would come your way with Zed in the Morning, like I'm doing now. Zed in the Morning will take you all through to 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, NYA The Brand comes your way with the brighter side. The Mondays to Fridays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on Z101.9 FM. That will take you to 1 p.m. Then on Tuesdays, just on Tuesdays, the show is I Have a Story to Tell, and it's hosted by Honorable Fritz Buffalo, and it's every Tuesday 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I Have a Story to Tell right here on Z101.9 FM. You don't want to miss that at all. You wouldn't want to touch that. Honorable Fritz Buffalo is interviewing some amazing Ghanaians doing great stuff all over. So you want to tune in every Tuesday 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Very, very important. Then also, you don't want to miss Highway 1019. What is Highway 1019? That's a drive that puts a smile on your face. Ofrewoyo will come your way right here on Z101.9 FM. Mondays to Fridays. She starts at 3 p.m. and ends at 7 p.m. She's joined by the amazing Ngozi Boateng, and they will take you home with a smile on your face. What about the weekends? Your weekends also sorted out. Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Time with Professor Stephen Adai comes up here on Z101.9 FM. You want to tune in and let the great man give you some nuggets of wisdom that will give your life some abundance. Every Saturday 8 a.m. it's time with Professor Stephen Adai right here on Z101.9 FM. Also on Sundays, you're sorted out. Your Sunday mornings are all churchy. Go churchy with Zed. Why? Because DDM David Aquamensa comes your way with Zed Gospel Groove every Sunday 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on Z101.9 FM. DDM Zed Gospel Groove Sundays 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Sundays 10 a.m. To 1 p.m. The Monday called the legend, the king of country, undisputed champion of country music, Country Express, that's the name of the show, and the legend is Tommy Anna Forsen. He comes your way Sundays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then also Wednesday evenings he's here from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. You don't want to miss that as well. That's all for the announcements. I'll be coming your way with more of those, but before I do that, it's important that we recognize and we give a happy birthday to the big man himself, the chief executive of Tech Focus 24, Mr. Samuel Nino Akudowona. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to the man himself. It's an amazing experience always having him on air. He's always here talking tech and tech for us as well. Then there's also a big birthday shout out that if I didn't, I would be in trouble. Happy birthday to our very own Dinah Mamle Sakite is here. Lois, I forgot one of the names. Dinah, Lois, Mamle Sakite. Happy birthday, dear. We love you to the max. This is from all of us at Zed Multimedia to Mamle Sakite. Thank you for being such a wonderful personality. Anyway, it's top story. So let's go into 3i, and then we're also going to ICAO and have that conversation. But before we do that, it's important that we have a track, and let's start top story off well today. Zed in the Morning coming back. Zed in the Morning crew, this one is coming to you. Mamle, we know you'll be dancing to this one. Have a good one.
It's your lifestyle, lurcher, and business radio.
It's wish you and your born, no. See, so when the hustle know they make chance pass me by. So make it do your best and use your sense. I show the stress since I put girl first. Charlie, it no be race, it no be test. And Jack guy to no one can test. Yeah. So make it tell them. So we the come, no the fear them. Papa got it for my side, so no shake it.
Yeah, when you're media, on Chonko na on do. On the CCTV, they be and anyone is so. Even if I walk through the valley of death, I know the fear. Every day, DJ guide. Yeah, when you're media, on Chonko na on do. On the CCTV, they be and anyone is so. Even if I walk through the valley of death, I know the fear. Every day, DJ guide. So
make you no cry, no cry. Say you go be, make you still try. You know, draw money in when you walk. Cash ain't no good way. My petty make you no cry, still try. Say you go be, make you no cry. You know, draw money in when me die. I don't mean a song, I don't mean a dimmy. I don't mean a dimmy. Cheating in China, cheetah. Don't mean a song, I don't mean a dimmy. Oh, yeah, to me,
yeah, when you're media, on Chonko na on do. On the CCTV, they be and anyone is so. Even if I walk through the valley of death, I know the fear. Every day, DJ guide. Yeah, when you're media, on Chonko na on do. On the CCTV, they be and anyone is so.
Yeah, CCTV, King Promise. Going out to Mably. Have a wonderful one there. We have on the line our colleague Isaac Edu. Isaac Edu is joining us and he's going to talk about 3i, what happened yesterday. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jerry.
How's the day been like so far?
Oh, it's been insightful.
Okay.
It's been everything tech.
Interesting.
Everything good to the ear. Right?
Yes.
Everything good to see. The interactions, the people you meet people who are in the tech space. I remember seeing Ametogo.
Maximus.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a program that has pulled real experts in the tech space and fintech space. And there's all to celebrate about this. And so I'm sure people won't be happy it's come to an end, but it must come to an end anyway.
So run us through what was yesterday like. What were the highlights of the day at the summit?
Right. So yesterday we had the vice president coming in and speaking at length about financial inclusion, and he touched on innovation. And you know, the theme or the catchword for the event has been investment, innovation and impact. And these three keywords have driven this program. And you realize that each speaker has made reference to these three keywords. So yesterday, the vice president spoke at length about regulation and how to ensure that regulation does not impinge on the growth of the tech industry. You understand? So he touched on the fact that regulators will have to adopt innovative means of regulating, at the same time fostering innovation in the industry. He gave the example of the sandbox regulatory system that the Bank of Ghana has used. And he mentioned Rwanda also. And so these are very important things that he spoke about. Now, we also had the second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mrs. Elsie Adu Awaji, who was pushing the thing about financial inclusion and how important it is for businesses and policymakers to take seriously what we are saying as financial inclusion, and not just to see it as a feeling, or as and when there's a program or an event, we put in a line or two about financial inclusion. But then it must be part of the business model of a given organization, or policymakers must make sure that they put in some things that have to do with financial inclusion. They must commit to it. That's what I expect. The alternative is something she said would be unhelpful. And what is the alternative? The alternative is financial exclusion. To the extent that she said it would negatively impact monetary policy transmission. And so it's very key. She spoke about how women are affected, are the tail end or bottom when we talk about financial inclusion. No, so Jerry, yesterday also we had women in tech, and we had Mrs. Esla Ulusu Ekufo speaking, and she tilted towards the women, and women who are unbanked or underserved, and therefore these women need to be supported. She mentioned quite a number of projects in the pipeline that are meant to support women to upscale when it comes to technology. You get it. So these are some of the last bit that is of interest is the fact that yesterday there was a signing ceremony where we had the Development Bank Ghana and the Singaporean fintech known as Proxitera signing $100 million partnership to give small and medium-sized enterprises digital loans. They're going to get the loans digitally. This is supposed to support small businesses to grow and expand. So this is what happened yesterday. We are looking forward to the drawing the curtains on it today. So.
Okay, Ike, but I'm interested in the Proxtera and DBG project. You said the loans are going to be given digitally. Did they explain what that meant? Is it Momo or what? What was that?
So they indicated that these are facilities that will be channeled to SMEs through digital avenues. So this is meant to deepen the financial inclusion agenda. We ought to, go by the cash light and the cashless agenda. So they wouldn't want to be seen to be doing fiscal cash and stuff. But then through the point of sales devices and other elements within the financial inclusion space, they would want to extend this kind of support. So this is what they have explained so far. So they're saying that Proxitera uses digital technology to help MSMEs gain trusted credentials for accessing loans. You get it?
Okay.
So the digital platform that they are coming with ensures digital inclusivity. It connects MSMEs with B2B marketplaces, financiers, payment providers. And so it's a chain of digitalized products. So once you are in, there's everything to benefit. So that you don't step out into the cash kind of thing, but you are within the cashless medium. So this is what they have explained so far.
Okay. Ike, did they give any indication on how this particular facility is going to be managed? Because you and I know, the challenges we have in the digital space when it comes to loans. We have all the examples to share. Did they give an indication of who is going to manage this? Is it going to be a Singaporean entity in Ghana managing? Is it going to be under the ambit of BOG, obviously? But is BOG going to set up a separate entity, or is it going to use the traditional banks or the telcos? What is the management of this thing going to be like?
So what they put out yesterday, this is going to be a facility that would be overseen by the Bank of Ghana. and will be channeled through the Development Bank Ghana. So there are three aspects here. So we have the Development Bank Ghana, we have the Bank of Ghana as the overseer, and then we have the Proxitera as the supplier of the credit. So this is how it's going to work.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Today being the last day, what are the highlights we should expect of today?
Well, so we are yet to get the detail, but then what we know is that they would be drawing the curtains down, getting the action points of each program they have held so far, and they will be able to come out with something that will have a semblance of a communique. So they will want to tie the loose ends. There will be some breakout sessions, we are told, but the nitty-gritties will be made known sooner than later.
Okay, Ike, you've been there for 2 days.
Yes.
What is your honest feeling or opinion concerning this thing? Is it going to be another talk shop, or you're convinced that after today we'll see some tangible changes within the space?
This will not be a talk shop. This has not been one. And as I have indicated in my report, this looks very practical. This looks tangible. And this is different from some of the conferences I have attended in the past. Looking at the personalities, we're looking at the substance that they come with. And some of the announcements that have been made, I don't expect it to be a talk show. I'm expecting that we have just had 100 million be announced. There was another 200 million that was announced that is going to support businesses in the tech space. There's been talk about regulation, which is very key in this space. And so, looking at the personalities involved, even though in the past we have had cause to complain that this looked like a talk shop, this one is far from that. I believe strongly that this would be a pace setter, and we should be proud as Ghanaians to have hosted this. And what needs to be done is for the organizers to step up and do some evaluation based on which the next time we want to have it, we want to step up a bit and see what we have achieved and what is left to be achieved. There is.
Well put. Yes, Ghanaians are always proud to be the pace setters in these things. We have the after secretariat sitting right here, but you and I also know that being proud of hosting is one thing, and then the thing itself reflecting in the pockets of the average Ghanaian is the another thing. But thank you so much. Our colleague Isaac Edu is headed towards the Accra International Conference Center, where the 3I Summit is taking place. He is going to bring us what happened on day 3. He's been telling us what happened yesterday, and we hope that he brings us another report on the last day and what went on. Ike, any final words for our listeners before we let you go?
Well, just to say that we can't wait for what is coming today. We'll be our eyes will be on the ball. We're hoping and we're confident that after this, we'll look forward to greater events and platforms like this. I know that the experts who have been there would not wish to leave, but we must leave anyway. But then we'll come back again, and when we come back, we should be happy about what we have achieved and what we want to achieve further on.
Okay, Isaac Edu from our business desk is a business desk editor here at Zed Multimedia, and he's been bringing us an update on the 3I Summit. When we come back, we'll be talking ICAO and what it means.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
Welcome back. We're still in the second hour of the show and we're doing top story. The International Civil Aviation Organization has awarded Ghana the prestigious Train Air Plus Silver membership in recognition of its exceptional contributions to aviation training within the West Africa sub-region. That's from the New Finder newspaper, so you want to get a copy of it. It's a page 8 story. He said award was presented to Ghana's Minister of Tourism, Kweku Ofori-Siama, at the ICAO Global Implementation Support Symposium. The ceremony held in Punta Cana saw ICAO Council President Salvatore Siachitano and ICAO Secretary General Juan Carlos Salazar jointly presenting the award to our Minister Siama. What is this ICAO Train Air Plus Silver Membership Award? What are the implications for Ghana's aviation industry? What does it actually mean? Is it something to be proud of, or is it something that the average Ghanaian is going to benefit from? That's a question we want to put. Those are the questions that is we want to put to Mr. Dominicando of Aviation Ghana, if he could help clarify this very award and why there is a cause for us to be happy. Still in the second hour of the show, 7:47, right here on Zed 101.9 FM, and it's Top Story Hour. When we come back, we'll be talking aviation. It's very important that we understand some of these awards and what they mean for the average Ghanaian. Is it something that is going to boost tourism? For me, that is where the interest is. If it's going to boost tourism and it's going to bring money in, then we should be of interest to all of us. This is your lifestyle, leisure and business radio, heavy on business with tinges of lifestyle and leisure. This is Z 101.9 FM and the show is Zed in the Morning. I am Jerry Hum. When we come back, we're talking aviation.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Yes, it's back into 7:53. What we'll be doing at 8 o'clock, we're still talking to aviation about this award that was picked up by our Minister for Transport, which is widely reported by a number of the newspapers. We'll come into that award. But right around the corner is your favorite segment, the mini MBA in the morning, and that is business briefs. So we'll pick business briefs, and then when we come back, we will do the aviation story. Before we go into Z Talk, when today we're talking pensions, and more pensions. Okay, it's 54. Let's do business briefs right here on Zed in the Morning. The whole of this week we've been doing marketing. Last week we did networking. Before that we did value. So yes, you have the value, you want to network, but you must also learn to market your product to the right audience. And yesterday we spoke about something where we said the rule number one of marketing is that your potential customers' available attention is limited. Because so many things are competing for the customer's attention, it is important that you as a marketer, you really get to understand this. And this is why yesterday we made mention of the fact that the number one, the cardinal sin, the cardinal marketing sin is to be boring. Why? Because if you're boring, you won't attract that kind of attention from your customer. So yes, today we're talking attention purchase from you, right? Otherwise you're just